Hey guys, welcome. This is our study guide video. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got a lot of problems to do, so let's go. First one, we're doing the surface area and volume of a cylinder. So we have 14 is our radius. What noise is that? 14 is our diameter, sorry. So we get, for number 1, our radius is going to be 7, and our height is going to be 18. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the picture. You have the picture in front of you, hopefully. So let's go ahead and do volume first. Volume's nice and easy. And we're going to get pi r squared times height. And you have to have your calculator out here if you're going to be able to do this. So we're going to get 7 squared. And I'm going to leave things in terms of pi today. 7 squared times 18. So volume should equal 88.2 pi. Okay. So there's our volume. We just plug in 7 for r, square it, times 18. Surface area is a little bit more work. Surface area, we get 2 pi r times height plus 2 pi r squared. Okay, so that's going to become 2 pi 7 times 18 plus 2 pi 7 squared. I like to do this in 2 different parts. I like to do one part and then the next part. So we're going to get 98 pi here. And then over here we're going to get 7 times 18 times 2. Notice I'm just leaving the pi. That's 252 pi. And then you just add them. So all we have to do is add them together. And we end up with our final answer of 350 pi. Okay, and on the quiz, or test, I'm going to want you to leave it in terms of pi. Alright, next one, number 2. We're going to do surface area and volume of a cone. So on their cone here, we have the height of 14. And we have a radius of 9. So we'll do our volume first. Our volume for this is actually the same volume, except we're going to do 1/3. So pi r squared times height, we're going to take 1/3. Plug in 9 and square it. A lot of this I'm doing off the screen on my calculator. And so basically we're going to get 1/3 pi 9 squared times 13. That's going to be 1/3 of 1134 pi. And then just divide that by 3. And we get our volume to equal 378 pi. Okay. Surface area is a little bit trickier because in surface area we have to deal with what's called slant height. So we have, for surface area of a cone, we get pi r L plus pi r squared. So we can put the r in, but we don't know what the L is. And so that's when I have to draw my triangle. The height is 14. This is 90. Here's my radius. Here's the L. So using Pythagorean's theorem, I can find that. So it's 14 squared plus 9 squared. And then I'm going to take the square root of that. And it's actually going to end up being about, after using Pythagorean's theorem, about 16.6. Okay, so that's my L. So I'm going to plug that in, times 16.6 plus pi r squared. That's a plus sign. So evaluate that first, and then that. 9 times that 16.6 is going to give me about 149.78. And this is going to give me 81 pi. Oops, forgot the pi over there. Okay, we can combine those. So I'm just going to add 81. And we get 230.78 pi as my surface area. Okay, so the big trick was using that Pythagorean's theorem. Next, this next one I need to kind of draw the picture here. So we'll go ahead and draw it real quick. There it is. That was fast. We get 8, 23, and 14. You got to pick your base figure for this one. Volume is really easy. It's big B times height. I'm going to pick this front face as my base area. So that's going to be 8 times 14 times the height, which is 23. Notice we just multiply all the numbers. I have to find this. So it's 8 times 14 times 23. And we are done. We get 2,576. Okay, there we go. And I'm sorry, I haven't been putting on units, so make sure you put units on. I apologize, this should be cubic. There, I didn't do it on the last one either. Surface area is a little bit trickier. We're going to do perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Since I picked this as my base, my perimeter is going to be 8 plus 8 plus 14 plus 14. Okay, that's my perimeter times the height, which is going to be 23, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 8 times 14. Okay, so we're going to put all that into our calculator. That will just take me 1 second. So that's going to be 44 times 23 plus 2 times 112. Okay, we'll go ahead and evaluate all that. And we should get 1236 square centimeters for that one. Okay. Alright, that was the front page. Whew, we got a lot of problems to do. Alright, next. Surface area and volume of a triangular prism. Okay, so I'm going to just draw the base figure here. This is our triangular base figure. It has 8 here, 9 here, and 10 it shows on the back side. And then it shows me the height of 7.6. Okay, so volume is going to be the area of the base times the height. That's going to be 1/2 b times h times h. That's really confusing. Now, the prism goes back like this. The height of the prism itself is actually 13. So we're going to put 13 there. But the height of the base is actually 7.6. Okay, so it's really important that we get that part right. The base and the height form a 90. That's how we know we have the base and the height, because they're going to form this 90-degree angle right here. Okay, that's going to be really important. So we get our base figure to have a base of 9, and we're going to take 1/2 of that. So kind of confusing there. So we'll go ahead and do 9 times 7.6, and then take half of that, and we're going to go ahead and get 34.2, and then multiply it by the height of the prism. And that's going to end up with my volume to be 444.6, and that's in cubic feet. Okay, surface area is a little different. Surface area, we're going to do perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, I already found the area of the base. It's right here. So I get to do 2 times 34.2. The perimeter is going to be 9 plus 8 plus 10. So that one's pretty easy because we have all the sides. So we get 27, and the height was 13. And add those together. So we got to put that in our calculator. So that's 27 times 13 plus, that's 2 times 34.2. And we should come up with about 419.4, and that's square feet for the surface area. Okay. Alright, next one's a trapezoid. So again, I like to draw the base figure here with all of my measurements. And the height going back is 21. Okay. We're going to draw this kind of like that. There we go. That's 21 back there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the volume. Volume is going to be big B times H. The area of the base here is 1/2 height B1 plus B2 times the height of the prism, which is going to be 21. Base 1 of the trapezoid is 19 and 24 for base 2. Doesn't really matter what order. The height is 8 because it's perpendicular to both of the bases. That actually makes it the height. Kind of saves me some time. So here we go. Let's go ahead and find just the area of this first. So we're going to do 19 plus 24. And then we're going to multiply it by half of 8, which is 4. So I get 172 times 21. So the volume is going to be 3,000 and 3,612 cubic meters. Surface area is going to be perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. Now we already know the area of the base is 172 because we already solved that. The perimeter is just 19 plus 24 plus 8 plus 11, 62. And the height is not of the trapezoid, but the height of the prism is 21. Okay, it's very important we make sure to make that distinction. So 62 times 21 plus 2 times 172. And we should come up with the surface area equal to 1,646 square meters. Okay, number 6. Whew. This has been a long haul. Okay, so surface area and volume of a pyramid. Okay, so let's go ahead, and our volume for a pyramid is a little different. It's 1/3 base times height. Okay, the height is 9.1. The base figure is a 12 by 12 square, so we're going to do 12 times 12, and then take 1/3 of it. So this one should be pretty straightforward. So we get 12 times 12 times 9.1, and then divide it by 3, and we're going to get to 436.8, and we're in cubic centimeters. Okay, so that was nice and easy. Surface area, always the hard one. So if you haven't figured out by now, surface area is what we should be practicing more than anything. Surface area is the 1/2 pi times L plus B, or sorry, not pi, perimeter times L plus B. Well, I already know the base area is 12 times 12, so that's 144. Okay, the perimeter of the base is going to be 12 plus 12 plus 12, or essentially 12 times 4. So the perimeter is 48. The only thing I don't know is the slant height. So if I take a look at my picture here, this is that triangle face in the front, and there we go in the back. I think the picture is a little different. Let's do that a little bit better. Let me make it look a little bit more like the picture we actually have. I think there we go. I know sometimes it's hard to draw these pictures. Okay, so we got the height coming down, and this is 12. And we want to find this piece and then that piece. So there's basically like a little triangle in there where the height is 9.1. And this is going to be half of the base, and then this is my slant height. So I'm going to use Pythagorean's theorem. I'm doing it off screen. 9.1 squared plus 6 squared. Okay, and then we're going to take the square root of that answer, and we're going to get roughly 10.9 for this. Okay, so we plug in 10.9 and go ahead and evaluate. So that's 48 times 10.9, and then we're going to divide that by 2, and we get 261.6 plus the area of the one base, which is 144, and that gives me 405.6 as my surface area in square centimeters. Okay, and let's see if we can get to number 7, our last problem I'll probably get to in this video if I even finish it. Okay, so let's just shoot for volume first. Volume, it's another pyramid, so we're going to do 1/3 big B times H. The area of the base is a little bit more complex because we're dealing with an equilateral triangle, which means they're all 60. So when I break this down, this becomes a 30, 60, 90. So this is 4, 8, and the height there is 4 rad 3. Okay, so I get 1/3. The area of the base is 1/2. The base of the triangle is 8, and 4/3 is the height of that triangle, and then the height of the actual prism is given to me as 11. Okay, so let's first evaluate that because I'm going to have to use that later anyways. I'm going to leave this in rad form, so I'm going to do half of 8 is 4, 4 times 4. I'm going to get 16 rad 33. Okay, so I'm going to do 16 times 11 and divide that by 3, and I'm going to go ahead and get 58.6 rad 3. as my volume, and that is in square meters.